Hey guys, welcome to the shop. So I'm starting my exhaust manifold repair video, and so I'm just going to live stream a little bit of this, let you see some of the process, and I'm actually going to be recording at the same time. I'm recording for a video, like a how-to video of the whole process, but this is a little behind-the-scenes sneak peek. But also, I wanted to show you this air filter. This is crazy. This is one of the dirtiest air filters I have ever seen. This thing is just terrible. So to do the exhaust manifold, you got to take the air box out of the way, disconnect the air intake here. But check out this filter. This is crazy. Look at that thing. Dang. So I bought this Jeep used. This is on the Project 92 YJ. And this air filter, gosh, it looks like it's just soaked with oil. I don't know if I was getting some blowback or something, getting some oil, and also there on the side of the airbox here, there's a hole. So maybe it was just picking up a bunch of dirt and mud. But this thing is nasty. So I wanted to share that with you, but also just a little bit of the process of making my videos here. So got my other camera over here. Wipe some of this goo off my hands. I've got the battery disconnected because we're really going to start tearing into this. I don't know if you can see me over here. I can't really see you guys, sorry, but we're going to start filming. I'll try to explain what I'm doing as I'm going along right now. There. Just setting up my camera. This is my Canon camera that I used to do a lot of my recording with. So I just got to make sure that the ISO is set right, the frame rate, the picture, everything. So I'm still kind of learning how to use this one. This is a new camera for me. One of my last videos, gosh, what was that? Oh, doing the skid plate. No, yeah, the transmission mount. There's a couple scenes in there where, yeah, like I'm showing the underbelly of the Jeep and it looked really good, but then my arm's in the picture, but it's totally like whited out. So let's grab a few scenes here. So we've got the battery disconnected. Next we're going to remove the air box, the air intake here. This goes to the throttle. We're going to get this out of the way. I'm actually going to remove this box completely to get it out of the way so I can actually get a better, some better shots for the filming here. So we're going to disconnect the air from the CCV valves here. Another line to the air intake over here. Get this out of the way. Stop my other camera. When you're doing a job like this, doing a project and filming it, making a YouTube video, it makes the process take, honestly, I'd say 3 or 4 times longer because you're setting up cameras, you're worried about lighting, you're trying to get different shots of everything you're doing. So there's really a lot that goes into this, into making a video. So let's keep going. I want to get a close up with my other camera here of this filter because mixing up the shots, getting different shots really adds a lot to the video, makes a nice touch. So see if we can do that here. But overall, I really enjoy working in the shop here. I enjoy working on the Jeep. Super, camera shuts off, you run into all kinds of little problems. I'm super excited to have this project Jeep so that I can tear into it and I don't have to have it up and running by the beginning of the week to go back to work. As I list in a lot of my videos, I am not a certified mechanic. This is just a hobby for me. I really enjoy though, so. There we go. And look at this filter. This is obviously way overdue for being changed. It is just covered in dirt and debris. This thing is just awful. It's also kind of weird recording two things at once. There you go, stop that camera. So yeah, just little scenes like that, you know, just taking the filter out, and you want to get a nice shot of it to make a nice video at the end. But yeah, it just takes a lot of time. So I'll move the camera again. I would like to get a shot from up higher up here. Let me show the side of that airbox though. Or if you have a partner or somebody to help you record, that helps too. My buddy Jason, he's at work today. He's got those gloves super dirty from that filter. Don't want to get it all over my camera. So I am going to be removing that air box here, but I just want to get a shot of the side of it. But gosh, I'm just not, I don't like how this camera is setting up here. I'll just freehand it. And the image is too dark. Let it focus. There we go. Okay. And you can see on the side of the intake box here, intake box. That's the other thing I do. It's an air intake, yeah, but you mess up a lot when you're talking. At least I do. I don't know about other YouTubers. So on the side of the air intake, you can actually see there's a big old hole right there. There's a little panel that's missing. So the previous owner, I don't know if that broke off or fell off or what happened there. And make sure my live recording is still going here. Yeah. Looks like we're still live. That's cool. Thanks. So I'm glad to have some viewers. I can't see your comments right now because you're clear over there. I'm working here. I can't see. So if you're making comments, I'll read them at the end. So let me know what you think. Something you do different, something you'd watch out for, or just say hi. So like I said, I'm going to take this box all the way out. It's super easy to do, but I want to cover that real quick. I got a wide angle lens on here, which really helps. Sometimes in editing, I end up saying things more than once because I might not like how one take turns out, but the other one might be great. So you don't have to remove this box all the way, but I'm doing that so I can get some better shots for you. This one just has these little straps on it that unhook, and the box slides out from the intake on the front there. We can get this out of the way. There we go. So now I'm going to talk about when you're taking things apart like this, sometimes it's a good idea I hope my audio is okay on that camera. Got a little microphone set up over there. It's not the best camera, but hey, I hope it's working. Let me change the exposure on my other camera here. I think I'm out of the shot there, sorry. Painter's tape. And I'm trying to record two things at the same time, so this is pressure. Having performance anxiety. Am I recording here? I am. So it's a good idea. So let's say 2 in air intake. It's a good idea when you start disconnecting all these hoses and things, take a little piece of tape, put it on there, so that when you're putting everything back together, you got a good idea of where things go. You don't want to, end up switching something, having a vacuum hose going to the wrong spot. So just label it so that you can remember it. Or the other thing I do, honestly, I'll take some pictures of a project if it's something that I'm taking apart that's kind of complicated. I'll snap a picture of it just so I have a good idea, and I can go back and reference, like, ooh, where did that vacuum hose go? So, what are we going to do next? We got to disconnect the power steering pump here. So I'm back at you guys. I think this is off. Yeah. So we're going to disconnect the power steering pump here. There's a couple bolts on the back side of it to loosen it up so we can get our serpentine belt or accessory belt, whatever you want to call that. Our fuel rail here, we've got this Schrader valve. We're going to depressurize because your fuel system here is under pressure, right? You've got a fuel pump pressurizing it to the fuel injectors. So we're going to put a little towel down here and let the pressure out with that valve. Then we're going to start disconnecting vacuum hoses and disconnect some vacuum hoses and some of these electrical plugs. The fuel rail itself we can leave attached to the intake manifold. The reason we're doing this, the exhaust manifold is cracked. It's got a big old crack in half of it. You can see it from the top and bottom. It looks like it's almost broken completely in half. So, what do I want to do next? This power steering pump, honestly, has been giving me a little bit of an issue. I got my bolts on the back side here loose, so I should be able to move it, but the thing is just not budging. And the adjustment bolt on the bottom down here, I think it's completely, to adjust the tension, I think it's completely loose. I mean, I can turn it by hand. There you go. Still having trouble with it. What was that? I think this was 13 millimeter. Yep. See if I can get a little bit of play in it here. I guess I'm just going to take these bolts all the way out and see why it is not moving. That's all of them. Dang. Guess these guys on the back side, we'll just take them all the way out, and it should be loose enough. What if I get a screwdriver back in there? Try to get it away from the... And the reason you gotta mess with the power steering pump here is the power steering pump is actually attached to the intake manifold. You gotta take the intake manifold off because the intake manifold and exhaust manifold, they go on together. There's actually bolts that hold both of them on at the same time. They share the same gasket and everything. But look at that. Sure looks like it should move, doesn't it? So my friend Jason, he's at work. You know what would be funny? Is if he was, because he gets notifications when people live stream. I know like Nashville Early Bronco, he watches that channel. He really likes that. He'll get a notification when he's live streaming and he'll just click it on it when he's at work. Obviously when he's on break. I mean, he only does that when he's on break, right? So it'd be funny if he saw me live streaming. Hey, Dale's live streaming. And that'd be funny if he was watching right now. If so, hey Jason. Dang, yeah. I can totally move that power steering pump, but it is just not coming loose. Oh, that bolt there I do not have to undo. That's part of the mount. That's the mount, that's the mount. The adjustment bolt here is undone. Huh. Yeah, it's still... And the manual does not talk about the adjustment of this. So once I find, I think there's like one more bolt somewhere that's holding this thing on, but I just cannot see it. I'll have to include it in my video. It's those two guys. That out of the way, this whole thing should move. But it's part of working on cars, right? You run into little problems. It's funny, yeah, my buddy Jason and I, we talk about how like one project will seem like so easy, like, oh, this will be easy, we just got to take this off and replace that and boom, we're done, undo these 4 bolts. But then you get stuck on one thing, like one dumb little bolt or one thing you can't reach. Or what was the last thing we did? An axle. Oh, we were working on the C-arm on a car, and what was it? There was a bolt we couldn't, there was a bolt or something we couldn't get out, we couldn't get to. And by trying to jacked the C-arm up, part of the axle of the vehicle actually popped out, so it was like we were going backwards. We're taking parts of the car apart that we didn't mean to, because we're breaking things. So those two guys there. Once I get this apart, I'll be able to show it better on camera of what was getting me stuck here. There's those two bolts there. There's probably somebody online right now, one of you guys saying, yeah, there's a third bolt right underneath the, or right above the, dang, that's all loose. It's crazy. So the trouble with not being able to see entirely the bottom of the bracket here. This is the bolt right here that attaches the intake manifold of why I need to loosen this up. Take the tension off the accessory belt here and remove it. Now let's just loosen that guy down there. I think we're a 13 millimeter. Have a try, loosen that. One more down there. But he's bigger. Looks like a 15 maybe. So this is the whole bracket that holds the power steering pump on here. I didn't want to remove the entire thing, but I might end up doing that just to be able to get it loose. I don't know why they have the adjustment on the power steering pump Why don't they have that over here on the alternator, somewhere a little easier? I'm going to do some body work on this project Jeep as well, but I'm going to wait until I'm done with repairs so I can set tools and stuff on it. I don't care. Huh. Got all those loose. It's still not budging. Acts like it wants to move. Excuse me. Huh. Let's take that this adjustment bolt down here. We'll just take it all the way out. Looks like it's completely loose. I can pull it out with my fingers. So it certainly shouldn't be stopping the whole thing from moving. There it is. The bottom fell out. There's the other half of it. You know what? This is busted. So, what if they did something like welded it on there or something so it wouldn't move? Because yeah, this so this is the adjustment for this power steering pump. Goes on the bottom, and you're supposed to, you know, screw it in to tighten it or to adjust the tension. So, but this part right here is busted in half, and I didn't just do that. That's probably why I could move it by hand earlier. So I'll be looking for a new adjustment screw there. Oh, there's the top half of it, yeah. Okay. Or I've got another friend that works in a metal shop. He said, "Hey Dale, if you ever need anything milled, let me know." It's good to have friends in different industries. Oh, I wonder if this is it right here. I thought I had this adjustment bolt loose, but it was just broken, but the base of it here is still tight. That'd be funny. Yep. Look at it moving now. That was it. Oh. So what was that, like 15 minutes of fiddling with this thing, trying to figure out why it wouldn't move? Now, yeah, now look at it. That's what I was trying to make it do the whole time. Thought this adjustment bolt was loose, and it was broken, but the base of it was still stuck in there tight. Now I can move this power steering pump back and forth like that. You pull it back here and it, to adjust your tension, push it forward and your belt's real loose. So there we go. So actually I want to put, I got to capture some of this on my other camera for my video. I need to make a video on power steering pump replacement. Not going to do that right now. This is just exhaust manifold. See, this guy right here should be able to stay in place and still be able to move this back and forth. So yeah, there were a couple bolts down here that I loosened that I did not need to. So let's tighten these guys back up because I don't want to forget about them. Drive down the road, have a piece of the Jeep fall off. I heard about a guy that recently, a friend of mine that I know, he was working on a vehicle and had his project all done and then was driving it somewhere. He lowered it off the jack stands, took the wheel chocks out, everything, put the wheels back on. He was good to go. So he started driving it, and as he's driving down the road, almost to his destination, he realizes, I never torqued the lug nuts on the wheels. He started panicking, like, oh no. The super funny part is he had put the lug nuts on just finger tight. He just kind of tightened them down a little bit. He was going to torque them and everything when he lowered the car on the ground, but kind of forgot. That was funny. So I'm not going to let him live that down. This is the magical part where your socket gets stuck on the bolt. There's so much grime on here. There we go. There we go. Okay. Perfect. So now that this thing works, so I can adjust it, I want to get a shot of that on my other camera for my video, and I can talk about these 3 bolts. So there's one at the top, one on the bottom, and then this adjustment bolt down here on the bottom that's actually busted. So let me set up my camera. Great shot. I want it like right here. Getting hungry. There we go. The other hard part, well, yeah, of course lighting, but the other hard part is focus. sometimes the camera kind of struggles with autofocus when because it doesn't know what you're trying to focus on when you don't have a person or something in the shot. But that's dark, I don't like that. Let's see. There we go. So now we're going to loosen these bolts on the power steering pump here. There's 2 bolts on the back side of it here. And then on the bottom down here, there's a adjustment bolt. And this one is to adjust the tension on your accessory belt here. So you screw this in or out to make the tension bolt, tensioner. You screw this in or out to adjust the tension. What am I trying to say? You screw this in or out to try to adjust the tension on the belt here. You don't want the belt to be too loose, otherwise you're going to get squeaking, things aren't going to turn right. You don't want it too tight, otherwise you could ruin bearings, that kind of thing. So I'll probably make a video on how to adjust this properly. I got that shot, but honestly I need a closer shot here. Yeah, that's the thing about doing these repairs, it just can take forever. But I enjoy it. Right there. There we go. Oh. I need to change the automatic off on this. I have it set to like 30 seconds and it's too short because, as you can see, sometimes it takes me longer than 30 seconds to set up a shot. And then when you're filming in shadows and stuff, you gotta adjust the exposure. And even with that, just need some better lighting over here. There we go. Except I don't like using this LED flashlight because sometimes it'll actually start to like flicker on the camera. Yeah, so now I got big old shadows in the way. There we go. Just trying to get shots of that. Alright, we can take the accessory belt off. But I can't just take the accessory belt off. I gotta record it. Something that should take 5 seconds is going to take me a minute. So maybe it makes the job take, 50 times longer than normal. And I'm probably not the fastest mechanic in the world either. backyard mechanic. Sorry, I gotta adjust the camera again. Adjust the exposure. Let's see, what am I going for? I'm going for that. There we go. Now we've got the power steering pump loose. This one actually gave me quite a bit of trouble because of this bolt that was broken down on the bottom. Ended up undoing some other bolts that I didn't need to. But yeah, it's just those three, this one on the bottom. Once you get those out, your power steering pump should be able to move back and forth like this. And then you can take your accessory belt off. And be sure to pay particular attention of how the accessory belt goes on. I guess I have a diagram in my Haynes manual that I can use, or one of my other Jeeps, my other Jeep. I want to kind of zoom in on this a little bit. And it's a really good idea to draw a diagram, or if you have a manual that'll tell you how to put the belt back on, but you just want to make sure that you take note of how it's on here so you get it going on the same way. This belt here, it actually looks pretty good. I'm just looking for cracks in it, or like feathering on the side here, or, you know, of the these straps in there. What is that, nylon? The back side of it's not cracked. Actually looks really good. I wonder if this is a fairly new belt. Get another shot of that. Camera turns off again. Turn my autofocus. And this is a really good time to inspect your belt. Make sure it's in good condition. If it's not, definitely replace it. All right. Looks like I still got a few viewers watching. That's cool. Thank you guys. Like I said, I can't see your comments right now if you're making any comments, but I'll look at them later after this video is done. I'll be able to go back and review all the comments and things. Gosh, I can't believe that one dumb... That's the reason it was giving me so much trouble. I thought this adjustment bolt was loose, and it was, but the locking bolt on the bottom, that's the one I couldn't see. So even though I could take the adjustment bolt out, it was still just locked in place. So now it seems fairly simple. So next I'm going to move on to removing some of the vacuum hoses. Some of these can stay, but obviously like this guy's going to have to go. The hose to the brake booster here. Some of the other vacuum hoses back here. The fuel rail I'm going to leave in place, and I'll disconnect this wire harness, and because I have to move it. Oh, and the throttle cable has to come out of the way. So, but for right now, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go get something to eat. I'm kind of hungry, so thanks for watching. I'm going to keep filming later on. I probably won't do another live stream. One live stream today is enough, but I'll definitely keep filming the rest of the video for this exhaust manifold replacement. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.